lounging, son.
Welcome back to the Comic Lounge. My name's Ryan,
And I'm
and
Manny.
we're taking a little trip down memory lane. We're going all the way back to 1992. We're going to be talking about a little known character called Spawn by a pretty well-known creator, Todd McFarlane.
Yeah, an up and
Um,
comer, right?
yeah. But before we get into it, I just want to remind everybody, if you're not already subscribed, hit that bell icon. Check out some of the playlist. Some of the playlists on the channel. A bunch of dope 90s comics that we go through, a bunch of 8-image stuff to early stuff, later stuff, even a couple interviews with Mr. McFarlane himself, the Todd father. So go check that stuff out, hit the subscribe button, and now let's jump into this amazing comic. Now, this copy is, you can see, is fucking beat up to shit. This is a reader copy. I have a nicer copy, but for the sake of this video, I didn't feel the need to like go dig that out of my short boxes. This was handy, so why not use
Yeah,
this?
I
And
feel you. I have my digital compendium that I have on my tablet because my copy is I buy these comic book frames that you can get at you find them online. They're real cheap, but they're awesome, and it's a great way to display some art. And I have all the image first framed in my living room, so I have that up on my wall.
oh, nice. Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah,
But this is a great fucking comic book. I love the
dude.
character. Early on the Comic Launch channel, my buddies Dylan and Mario, we reviewed the first trade, but I haven't done a flip through. And to really appreciate this book, you got to look at the art. That's a huge component to this title. Look at that. Story pencil inks, Todd McFarlane. Letters, Tom Orzechowski, a name that we've mentioned so many times on this channel. And colored by the great Steve Olive. This is something I loved that they did in the early Image comics too, was dedications to, big creators, right? And who better to dedicate it to than Jack Kirby? Which is crazy that, like, Rob Liefeld has mentioned that they were originally going to say Jack Kirby Presents. Can you imagine what it would have been like
I
if all the Image comics had that above?
That would have been like huge, man.
Yeah. Pretty crazy, dude. So I love this too. Cover painting by Ken Stacy over Todd McFarlane art. So this is
Dude, I know, and to me this is one of my favorite covers of all time. I mean, I can't remember I was vibrating with energy when I fucking bought this book. I remember taking it to middle school, Kinloch Park Middle in Miami, Florida, and talking with my metalhead friend Abdiel, who I'm still friends with, and we were just obsessed with this fucking book the entire like month or two after it came out. And he was an artist, so like he would sit there and draw Spawn for me, and like I mean, we got in trouble so many times in our freaking English class because like we were passing the book back and forth, and oh, dude, great memories, man.
Yeah, I was, again, I'm 5 years old, so I didn't pick these up right away. But I know damn well that Spawn was one of like the first characters that I fucking saw as a little kid
Yeah,
going into a comic shop, because I discovered
yeah,
comics, at the grocery store, newsstands, wherever I went. I don't remember, like Costco used to have these packs of comics, like
yeah,
grab packs, which
yeah.
fuck, dude, I got
Kmart,
so much good
everywhere.
stuff in
Yeah,
there. Yeah, Walmart, Kmart, yeah. So Spawn was always a character that I had wanted to get into, but it was going to be a couple of years after he was created before I actually was able to pick a copy up. But now, being an adult, I can buy all those comics that I didn't have. So I have like a decent sized run. I have the first 100 issues at least, and then sporadic issues throughout. But I love this issue so much. It's such a great entry point into this world, and even has a little bit of ties to the Image universe that was supposed to be connected, but eventually like they had to not do it. I love this opening, just looking at the earth from above, and then you fucking pan out, but then you're almost zooming back in, which is kind of weird, because then you're coming right back to earth. Just introducing the character as a silhouette. This is so fucking cinematic, the way he fucking lays this out. It's
you can
so
hear
good.
the thunder cracking and see,
Yes.
like it's amazing,
The
dude.
eyes right here, and then you just like go like it. The fucking coloring too is phenomenal.
Dude, I mean, this is one of my favorite single issues of all time.
Yeah.
Like
And
then we
then you
got the
got this,
newscaster.
fuck,
Yeah,
dude. I gotta say, dude, I have bitched a lot about these fucking newscasters, to myself. Maybe not outwardly to people, But man, sometimes I look at these and I'm like, oh God, I would just gloss over them as time has gone on. I don't necessarily read every single word on there. In this instance, it's very, very important to building out,
Yeah.
the characterization of Al Simmons, learning about what happened with him, how he was, he disappeared. It's a government cover up, and what's great is you got each one has a different perspective, which I like. So it's not like they're all reporting it in the same manner.
No, and this, I think this is a technique picked up from Frank Miller in Dark Knight
For
Returns
sure.
because he did that,
I'd
and they
even
were
call out
all.
Howard Chaykin in American Flag. I think that preceded.
You're right. So like this is there's a pedigree for this in comics, but it became a reoccurring technique in Spawn, like you said. So
Mm-hmm.
and what's cool is that like we did get to know like these reporters, and it's like you got your liberal, you got your right winger, you got your entertainment news. So like Todd was covering all the fucking angles, bro.
I know. And it talks about, Wanda Blake. So and this is 1987, so this is 5 years prior. That means 5 years have gone by. I mean, he even says
Yeah.
in the inner dialogue, like, I chose to come back. Why? So like he doesn't even have his memories. And then you get this great montage.
What a great 9 panel grid, like I mean, and the coloring, like you said earlier, is great. I love that panel of like him, getting freaking his skin being melted off at the bottom, like
Yeah, it's pretty
so
dope,
good.
dude. Look at that. He was something special and proud of it for a time. Like he's a proud soldier, right? And then they turned on him. He turned on me. I remember dying, and you just see like him get blasted away. It's fucking crazy, dude. And then he sees this woman who he doesn't know who it is. Then he's in fucking hell with Malbolgia, dude. It's fucking. I
And like,
needed, he gave. I had to. All I could think of was her. So it's
dude,
pretty crazy to think about as he's dying and he's seeing stuff, but his memory is just all gone. Almost like he's
yeah,
being, because he is being reborn as a new creature, a hellspawn.
dude, look at how badass that next page is, dude. I mean,
Dude.
nobody was doing compositions and layouts like Todd was at this time. This style was unique to him. Like the energy to these panels, like for lack of a better term, like the sheer fucking badassness of this comic book
Yeah,
was like a bomb dropping in my life at the time, man. Like I was already loving comics, but I saw this and my fucking mind was blown. And I think that's something that was shared by anybody who picked up this book at the time.
for sure, dude. And I love, this is the first time we see the hourglass, dude, with the fucking countdown.
Yeah.
And then this.
Oh,
So
dude.
good.
What an immediate classic costume, man. Like,
Fucking iconic, dude. It's fucking iconic.
dude,
And then you get this fucking sick ass
dude.
double page. You fucking I miss the turn where you had to go like this.
Thank you, bro, for sure. I wouldn't have even mentioned that, but you're absolutely right, Ryan. I fucking love, like, I almost turned it and hold it up like a fucking Playboy centerfold, dude. You know what I mean? Like up in the air.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't have quite the same effect on my psyche as a Playboy centerfold, but
No,
I
but
would say
but
the
but pretty
excitement
damn
is there.
close.
Yeah, the excitement's pretty on par.
Yeah.
It's just a different level, different level
Yeah,
of
yeah,
excitement.
yeah, yeah. I know what you
But this is so sick, dude. This is a fucking poster that, like, if this was a tear out, this would be on my wall right now. You know?
absolutely, man. And you know what I mean? I'm half tempted to find a beater copy and pull it out anyway and frame it, like
Yeah, yeah. I know. I almost want to take this beater copy now and just like frame it like this. You know what? I think I might. I think I just might frame this shit because it's so sick. And it
do
is
it,
such
bro.
an iconic costume, instantly
Yeah.
iconic. It doesn't like look like anybody else. I guess you could say the eyes maybe kind of have like a little mix of Deadpool, Spider-Man to it, right? But the cape is its own thing. The
The
chains, like the
chains, bro. The
pouches,
chains are
the
what got me. Like,
spikes.
like I was a budding little punk rock metal kid. You know what I mean? So like all these spikes and chains were like right up my fucking alley, dude.
Dude, yeah. I mean, and then look at this, dude. We just did
The
an episode.
dudes, bro. Sam and Twitch, bro.
Yes, we literally just did an episode on these guys on the relaunch of Sam and Twitch Case Files. I couldn't even remember when we were talking about it that they did debut in the first issue. Very
Yeah, dude. They were
briefly.
right from the very beginning. Yeah.
Yeah, very briefly, but look, there they are, dude. And he's building out the cast of characters, and you already can kind of get like their personalities in one page. That's not easy to do, man. I love this
No.
panel too. I don't know why I love panels where somebody's holding a cigarette. I don't know if it's because I used to smoke or something and I start fantasizing about having a cigarette, but there's just something about the way Sam's
It
holding that
creates movement,
cigarette.
I think, dude.
Yeah.
It's the same thing that actors, I've heard actors say that they use that technique too. Like they miss being able to smoke in movies back in the day. Like if you watch like an early Tarantino movie, everybody's smoking. It it gives movement to the scene. It gives like a reality to it, you know? And then
Yeah.
the trail of smoke is also like such a cool visual.
The
Like the way
ashes
it
sprinkling
ashes
down.
and the way the smoke is trailing in and out of the different panels. Again, dude, Todd is doing such amazing layout work here that like it's so inventive. And like if it doesn't seem fresh now, it's because it's been endlessly copied. But nobody was
Yes.
doing this shit when he started, man. Nobody.
And then
I think
this,
even
dude.
Rob's mentioned it on his podcast so many times, like how Todd was killing it at this time.
Yeah. And then we get Spawn, dude, stopping his first fucking mugging, his first crime. And I love how
Yeah,
like it's just all black and we just see the red cape floating, and then we get the 3 inset panels right here. This woman's being attacked by fucking 4 dudes. Fucking Spawn jumping straight down, dude. I love this fucking.
dude.
And then this guy, hey, Shank, looks like one of them young bloods. There it goes, connecting it to the fucking
Yeah,
Image universe. Because in
you
the
know,
early days of Spawn, it was very heavily tied to Youngblood. There was, yeah, so it had ties to Chapel, which obviously has had to be kind of written out because
yeah,
Todd doesn't own those. Rob doesn't own Youngblood anymore, so he can't even ask Rob for that permission. So he's had to write Chapel out. But like, there was a direct connection to Youngblood with Spawn and Al Simmons. This, dude, and this is something I missed too. The way these panels are. Todd's not the only
yes,
one to do it in this era. Eric Larson was doing it. Rob Liefeld was doing it. I think Valentino might have been doing it too. Maybe all of them, to be honest with you. I don't think any of them didn't do it, but I love this kind of panel, and I love how they overlap. And then
yeah.
you have this where this dude's just getting chucked out. The fucking drawing all those shards of glass.
The level of detail that Todd is doing in this issue, man, is amazing.
I
All these
love.
pages are like vibrating with energy, man.
Dude, how
Like,
about this too? Right here on this page where he's like a fat, or this is a him. He's like, fat boy, you're way out of your league. And just the
yeah,
glow of Spawn's eyes, this little orb, and it just goes and boom, fucking explodes, and they just go taking off. And then even
yeah,
this
he's having,
girl's fucking terrified, like he just saved her. And then he gets
yeah,
this like vision, and he's just like, oh, not again, no. And you can just see the pain, even through the mask. Like the way he's able to convey that pain through there is next level, dude. You can
yeah.
see it. The
The way the
eyes
fabric
shrinking
is
the mask.
stretching, you know,
Yeah.
yeah, dude. What a this page is great too. Like the scratchy like panel borders, like the webbing, you know, like the crescent shape of Spawn's mask. I mean, it's so beautiful, bro. Amazing.
Then he's like starting to remember the funeral from an outside perspective, which is kind of cool. Like he still doesn't
Yeah,
know, but he knows that she means something, like there's something about her. And then this, him being consoled by the girl he just saved, and just like seeing him in such a vulnerable state,
yeah,
I think is interesting for Todd to do. You show him in like he's in a place of like not remembering stuff and kind of confused, but then he like handles business. But just after being a complete fucking badass and tearing these guys up, he's in this sense of vulnerability and being consoled
yep,
by this woman. We get the newscasters back, dude. And then
yeah,
now they're reacting to the presence of Spawn. It's now 5 years later. So we see a little bit of change. This dude's got a mustache now. This guy, I fucking love
yeah,
the guy on channel 2. He's my favorite of the 3.
yeah, yeah. He's fucking funny.
And talking about the criminal underworld that's like taking place in the city, maybe a possible mob war going to take place. Again, now we see this. Now Spawn's starting to remember, she's my wife. I have a wife. So I love this. Like he's coming to all these conclusions already. And then do this part where he takes off the mask and you just see like,
He's burned up.
yeah. What do they call it? Hamburger face? Is that what they
Yeah,
refer to it as? Yeah.
love the cape, man. The cape has been like is one of the most iconic things about Spawn, and the way he draws all the folds, like the
Dude.
cape is I mean almost alive. We're gonna learn that the suit is somewhat like a symbiote itself, but
Mm-hmm.
the cape is like yeah, it might seem unrealistic, but it's like such a cool visual for it to be so huge and like
Yeah. And then
all encompassing.
this with the tears going down his face, we still haven't even fully seen what his face looks like. He just like very like calmly to himself, like, what am I? And then we get Sam and Twitch. talking about like what is this dude, like it's unreal. Wonder how much power this guy has in him. And then we flash and we pan out to fucking
dude.
Violator.
What a fucking metal ass image to end on, with Malbolgia,
Oh
like
yeah, Malbolgia. I'm sorry, it's Malbolgia, yeah.
the laughter lettering, coming down
Uh
like in space and
in
like,
a
I mean
spiral.
that,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. I mean, you don't see that, dude. You
No.
really don't see that, man. I mean, Malbolgia, look, this shit could be straight out of a fucking heavy metal like album from like the late '80s, early '90s.
Hell yeah, dude. Oh, it's such a great issue. And then look at this. We get
Yeah,
a little pinup by Pitt, which has
yeah,
he debuted already in a backup in Youngblood 2, was it? Right? I believe it was
yeah.
Youngblood 2. And then this fucking drawing by George Perez of Spawn. It's fantastic, dude.
I love it when other people draw Spawn in a style that's totally different from Todd. It's one of my
Same.
favorite things.
I also love the name of his letters page, The Spawning Ground. And then we get this long editorial by Todd McFarlane, talking about, why image is the question that he asks. So good, dude.
Dude, it's amazing.
Such a great fucking comic book. I still pick up Spawn, like,
I do too, bro. I mean,
so,
I don't read them right away. I usually let them build up and read them in little spurts.
yeah.
But dude, and I have at least 6 Spawn figures sitting on a shelf together. So I'm a big Spawn fan. Like I have a Gunslinger Spawn. I have like several versions of Spawn. Like it's one of the I don't collect a lot of the same toy, but it's one of the few characters that I have at least 5 or 6 figures of.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely need to get some Spawn figures. I don't have any, but definitely want to pick some up because
They're
it's just,
badass,
yeah,
bro.
they are. They're fucking dope. Todd does a great job of making awesome fucking figures. So yeah, I just can't get over how much I love this comic book. I definitely think we will probably go through some more single issues. We've already done a few on the channel. There's so many great, one-off stories that would be fun to do. Some of the Greco Pulo issues. So be on the
Yeah,
lookout for that. Check out the Image
yes.
Comics playlist, 90s Comics playlist. Check out the Todd McFarlane interviews as well. And go pick up a copy of the single issue because nothing beats it as reading it in the
Dude,
single issue
every comic
paperback.
book fan that came of age in the early to mid '90s needs to have this in their collection, man.
Totally agree. So go pick it up. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe, hit that bell icon so you're notified every time a new vid drops. And on that note, we're out.